Philadelphia Phillies are off to their fastest start in nearly 2 decades and are highly touted as National League pennant contenders. The Cincinnati Reds furnish the opposition as the second-place Phils attempt to extend their winning streak to 4 games and gain ground on the first-place San Francisco Giants. One good reason for the fast Philly getaway has been the tremendous play of third baseman Richie Allen. Although he's only a rookie, Allen is the talk of the league with a batting average well over 300 and 6 home runs. It's 0-0 as Cincinnati's Bob Perky delivers in the second inning. Tony Gonzalez slices the ball to left field, and before Tommy Harper can track it down, Tony trots into second with a double. Wes Covington moves in to face Perky. Wes sends a high fly to right field that Frank Robinson puts away. Gonzalez tags and races to third as the Phillies bid to get on the scoreboard. 1 out, Gonzalez on third. Perky is working very carefully. The red right-hander cuts it too fine, and his knuckler gets by catcher John Edwards. Gonzalez gallops home to give Philadelphia a 1-0 lead. Jim Bunning, who has won 3 and lost 1 for the Phillies, faces the Reds in the third. Leo Cardenas tags the former Detroit Tiger twirler for a single to left. Bunning retires Perky, but Pete Rose groups a hit to left. The ball takes a bad bounce and rolls toward the bullpen. Cardenas stops at third, and Rose halts at second. Chico Ruiz continues the Cincy blooper barrage. The ball falls between Tony Taylor and Johnny Callison for a single, and Cardenas comes home with the equalizer. Gordy Coleman connects with a bunting sinker ball and drills it off the wall in right field. Rose and Ruiz both score, and Coleman slides safely into third with a triple. Bunting serves up a fat pitch to Frank Robinson, and Frank really tags it. Tony Gonzalez gives chase and finally catches the ball 425 feet from the plate to retire the side. The Reds add another run to lead 4-1 as Perky pitches in the fifth. Clay Dalrymple lines a single to right. Perky forces Bobby Wine to hit into a fast short second to first double play. Perky isn't so lucky with the next man. John Briggs, batting for Bunting, bounces to second, but Pete Rose lets the ball go through his legs for an error. Taylor steps in to face Perky, and Tony tags the Cincinnati right-hander for a single to center. Phils have runners at the corners. Once again, the flutter ball cost Perky a run as his knuckler gets away from Edwards. Briggs slides across the plate as Philadelphia cuts the Cincinnati lead to 4-2. Perky goes to work in the seventh to protect his 2-run advantage. Bobby Wine grounds to third, where Chico Ruiz makes a great stop and throws Wine out. There are 2 out as Tony Taylor works Perky for a base on balls. Perky holds the speedy Taylor close at first. Richie Allen drills a single to left, and Taylor moves to second. Johnny Callison, who recently came out of a dreadful hitting slump, bounces a hit into center to score Taylor. Allen scampers to third, and Callison takes second on a heads-up play. Manager Fred Hutchinson summons assistance from the bullpen to help halt the fighting Phil. Southpaw Bill Henry, the ace of the Red Relief Corps, gets the call. With a 2-2 count, Tony Gonzalez hits a soft liner to center that Veda Pinson traps. Allen and Callison both score to give Philadelphia a 5-4 lead after 7 innings. Ed Roebuck's on the hill for Philadelphia in the ninth. Bob Skinner touches the sinker ball specialist for a double as the Reds threaten. '63 Rookie of the Year Pete Rose flies out to John Herrnstein, and the ball game's over. Philadelphia paced together its second four-game winning streak of the season with a come-from-behind 5-4 victory over the Cincinnati Reds. Gene Mack's fighting Phillies invade Chavez Ravine for the first series this season with the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. The Phillies are on top of the pack while L.A. is struggling to crash the first division. Rookie Richie Allen has been living up to preseason press notices which label him an up-and-coming superstar. It's generally agreed without him the Phillies wouldn't be where they are today. Johnny Callison is one of the few players Gene Mack uses against both right-handed and left-handed pitchers. In the clutch, Johnny is as tough as they come. On defense, Bobby Wine is one of the most spectacular shortstops in the major leagues. But you can't score without runs, and Wes Covington is another long ball blaster. When healthy, right-handed hitter Roy Sievers rounds out a potent attack. Meanwhile, Johnny Herrnstein has been doing a great job filling in for Roy, who has been injured. Fireballing Chris Short has been selected to pitch this game of the week against last year's world champion. Maury Wills singles for the Dodgers in the home half of the first. But Chris Short erases this threat in a hurry as he forces Jim Gilliam to hit into a quick inning-ending double play. The Phils boast a fantastic infield combination. Don Drysdale's on the hill for the Dodgers as we move to the Phillies half of the second. That's Wes Covington banging the ball to right for a base hit. Wes chews up right-handed pitching like bread and butter. Versatile Johnny Herrnstein follows with a base hit, and Covington chugs into third. Herrnstein is developing into one of Gene Mack's most reliables, and he can play either first or the outfield. Don Drysdale is tough. He forces Clay Dalrymple to hit one on the ground to Maury Wills, who turns it into a double play, and there's still no score after 2 innings. The Phillies get something going in the sixth. Richie Allen smashes the ball to Maury Wills. The Dodgers shortstop can't find the handle, and Allen, with his great speed, is safely on at first. Don Drysdale has his work cut out. Johnny Callison doesn't make the chore any easier. His single to center sends speedy Richie Allen over to third base. On the play at third, Callison advances to second, setting the stage for walloping Wes Covington. Drysdale pitches carefully to West, but Covington lays into the ball and hits it deep to Frank Howard. Allen tags up and scores on the sacrifice fly. It's still a tight pitcher's battle as Chris Short tries to protect his one-run lead going into the Dodger half of the eighth. Tom Davis connects, but Gene Mack sent John Herrnstein out to play left field at the start of the inning, and John turns in a sensational kick. Even Dodger fans show their appreciation for that play. Frank Howard unleashes his mighty swing, but the Phillies are playing inspired baseball. Bobby Wine throws over to Ruben Amara, who's now playing first base, and the Phillies still lead 1-0 going into the ninth. Dodger ace reliever Ron Faranowski, who replaced Drysdale on the mound in the eighth, doesn't find much success pitching to Johnny Callison. The Phillies star outfielder bangs out his 4th straight hit to open the inning. After Ruben Amara sacrifices Callison over to second, Johnny Herrnstein comes through with his 2nd hit of the game. Johnny Callison scores, and that's all the Phillies need. Chris Short goes on to post a masterful 2-0 shutout over the Dodgers. It's Short's 5th straight conquest of the Dodgers since July 4th, 1962, and the way the Phillies are playing, 1964 could be their year. From 1958 through 1961, the Philadelphia Phillies finished dead last in the National League pennant race. They moved up a peg in 1962, and last year the Phils wound up 4th. Now Gene Mack's men find themselves taking dead aim on their first pennant since the Whiz Kid days of 1950. Roy Sievers is the first baseman when he's in good health, and the opposition throws a left-hander. When Sievers is not in the lineup, Johnny Hernstein spells him. Hernstein's bat has been smoking lately. Johnny's a good glove man, whether he's at first base or in the outfield. The Phillies have tremendous depth. Tony Taylor is the pesky leadoff man for the Phillies. He's a smart hitter and plays second base as well as almost anyone in the league. Taylor's bat hasn't really started to rumble yet, but when it does, watch out. The double play combination of the Phillies is a pitcher's blessing, as Bobby Wine and Tony Taylor form a better combination than bread and butter. There isn't a play that Wine can't make at shortstop, but his hitting needs to be improved if the Phillies are to maintain a well-balanced attack. Bobby compensates for his weak bat by turning what looks like sure hits into easy outs. Gene Mack always seems to make the right move at the right time. He used Cookie Rojas when it was necessary to get added punch into the lineup. Rojas, who plays either the infield or the outfield, is hitting well above 300. Rookie Richie Allen practically carried the team in the early months of the season with tremendous hitting. He's batting close to 300 now, but strikes out frequently. Allen has done a good job for Gene Mack in his first year playing at third base. The Phillies can platoon their outfield better than any team in baseball. Wes Covington plays strictly against right-handed pitching, and he's usually up there with men on base or in a pinch-hitting role. Covington is hitting slightly below his .286 lifetime batting average, but he comes up with that long ball when the Phillies need it most. Tony Gonzalez is another port-side swinger in Gene Mack's lineup. The Phillies' fine center fielder has yet to start banging the ball with that Gonzalez gusto, but he's a 300 hitter, and Mack has plenty of confidence in him. Johnny Callison's the right fielder and the best hitter in the Philly lineup. He's been named to the 1964 All-Star team, and with good reason. He hits consistently and is superb in the outfield with a rifle-like arm. Clay Dalrymple handles most of the catching chores, but newcomer Gus Triandas helps in this department. Dalrymple doesn't hit for high average, but his long ball clouts seem to always come when the Ducks are on the pond. Clay has one of the strongest throwing arms in the National League and gives his pitchers valuable support behind the plate. Speaking of pitching, this is Philadelphia's strong suit. Ray Culp recently threw a one-hit shutout against the Cubs. It came 2 days after Jim Bunning's perfect game. Bunning heads a staff that includes Culp, Short, Mahaffey, Bennett, Volshin, and Roebuck. They could be good enough to bring a pennant winner to Philadelphia.
Beautiful Shea Stadium in New York draws more than 50,000 for the 35th Major League All-Star Game. The American League leads in the series 17-16. There was one tie in 1961. Managers Al Lopez of the White Sox and Walter Alston of the Dodgers have an abundance of slugging talent for this classic, most of it hitting from the right-handed side of the plate. Switch-hitting Mickey Mantle is off to another fine season with the Yankees, and he'll be counted on to connect with some of that right-handed National League pitching. Brooks Robinson of the Orioles is the third baseman, and one of the prime reasons Baltimore is on top in the American League standings. For the National League, Jim Bunning returns to Shea Stadium, scene of his perfect game against the Mets in June. Sandy Koufax and Willie Mays have no complaints about being on the same side of the diamond for this affair, but Sandy might not play because he pitched just 2 days earlier. Met fans are out in full force to root for their hero, Ron Hunt, and the rest of the National Leaguers. But it's the American League scoring first as big Harmon Killebrew slashes a single off the starter Don Drysdale, and the Angels' Jim Fregosi rides home with the first run of the game. After starter Dean Chance throws 3 scoreless innings, Kansas City pitcher John Wyatt gives up the first National League run. Billy Williams of the Chicago Cubs and one of the league's leading hitters belts one over the 371-foot sign for a home run, and it's a new game at 1-all. Ken Boyer of the Cardinals comes up with 2 men gone in the fourth and times one of Wyatt's pitches just right for a home run. Boyer is one of the league's established stars and having another tremendous year for the Redbirds. His blast makes it 2-1 in favor of the Nationals after 4 complete innings. The Phillies' Jim Bunning, who retired 27 Mets in a row on June 21st for a perfect no-hitter, strikes out Elston Howard in the 5th. After Norm Sebring skies out, Bunning gets Jim Fregosi on a called 3rd strike, and the Nationals hold the lead 2-1. As it stands now, Bunning could be the winning pitcher. Chris Short, another Philly pitcher, is called on to protect that 1-run lead in the 6th, but Mickey Mantle greets him with a base hit to center. Short hurt his side in a series at San Francisco and is not at his best. Harmon Killebrew of the Twins doesn't help him feel any better as the American League's home run leader collects his 3rd straight hit. Short gets Bob Allison to sky out, but Brooks Robinson of the Orioles strikes a damaging blow that Willie Mays can't quite reach. The ball rolls clean to the wall where Johnny Callison retrieves it. By the time he can relay the ball to Ron Hunt, Robinson is safely in at 3rd with a triple, and both Killebrew and Mantle have scored. It's tied at 3 apiece as Dick Farrell of the Houston Colts pitches to Elston Howard in the 7th. Howard is hit by the pitch and moves on to first base, representing the go-ahead run. Rocky Colavito of the Kansas City A's pinch hits in the 7th and comes through with a double. Rocky replaced Al Kaline on the American League roster when Kaline was forced out due to an injury. With 2 on, nobody out, Jim Fregosi hits a fly ball to Willie Mays. Howard tags up, Willie throws, but it's not in time. Howard scores and the American League goes ahead 4-3. Dick Raditz is the premier relief pitcher of the Boston Red Sox. He mows the National Leaguers down like blades of grass until the 9th inning when Willie Mays walks. Raditz, known as the Monster, fires one past Orlando Cepeda, while Mays, playing the kind of daring game only he can, steals second. Cepeda gets a piece of the ball and loops a hit into right field. It's Orlando's first safety in All-Star competition and couldn't have come at a better time. Mays stops at 3rd, but when Joe Pepitone's throw to the plate skips past Elston Howard, Mays slides home with a tying run. Every year, Willie comes up with a new and exciting act in the All-Star game. Dick Raditz refuses to become rattled. Raditz forces Ken Boyer to pop up to 3rd baseman Brooks Robinson. After Johnny Edwards is intentionally walked, Hank Aaron strikes out. With 2 on and 2 out, the Phillies' Johnny Callison strikes like a bolt of lightning. He hits the first pitch thrown by Raditz into the right field stands for the game-winning home run, and he borrows one of Billy Williams' bats to do it. Callison's ability to get around on the pitch with lighter lumber enables the National League to win a 7-4 decision over the junior circuit, and the happy National League fans file out of Shea Stadium, having seen one of baseball's most sensational shows, the 1964 All-Star Game.
The National League leading Philadelphia Phillies and their #1 nemesis, the St. Louis Cardinals, tie up in one of the most unusual baseball games ever. Whenever these two clubs clash, you can usually count on a tremendous offensive show. Over the past few weeks, Johnny Callison has been one of the most torrid hitters in the league. He's been winning the close one for the Phillies with timely blasts. Rookie of the Year candidate Richie Allen continues to hit above the 300 mark, but it's been the fine all-around play of Cookie Rojas that has kept the Phillies on top in the league standings. Cookie plays anywhere. Manager Gene Mack needs him. Speaking of needs, Mack, in search of a healthy first baseman, has inserted Costin Shockley into his lineup. Unfortunately, Shockley was a left-handed power hitter at Little Rock, and manager Mack is desperate for a right-handed slugger now that Roy Sievers is gone. When Danny Cater broke his wrist, the Phillies summoned right-hander Alex Johnson, who was batting .319 with 21 homers at Little Rock. No doubt rookie Johnson is studying the Cardinals' Ken Boyer very carefully. Boyer is one of baseball's finest hitters and can be counted on to supply plenty of Redbird power. However, Curt Simmons is the guy the Phillies are worried about the most. Southpaw Simmons owns a 14-2 record over the Phillies since the Phils gave him his outright release. We pick up the action with the Phillies batting in the fourth inning of a scoreless game. With one out, Curt Simmons gives up a hit to Richie Allen. Alex Johnson gets his second consecutive hit, and this rookie looks as if he may be just what the doctor ordered. With 2 on and 2 out, Gus Triandos comes through with a double off the wall. Allen rides home with the game's first run, and Alex Johnson follows with a second. It's 2-0 Phillies as the Cardinals come to bat in the fifth. St. Louis bounces back against Dennis Bennett, who hasn't completed a game in weeks. Curt Flood singles with Bob Uecker on base. Julian Javier follows with a walk, loading the bases. Ken Boyer caps off the threat with a bases-loaded home run. It's Ken's 14th homer of the season and 7th grand slam of his career. The Cards take a 4-2 lead in the fifth and strike again in the seventh. Ken Boyer plays no favorites as he connects off Ed Roebuck, the Phillies sinker ball specialist, in the seventh. It's Boyer's 15th homer and second of the day. Philadelphia's usually reliable relief pitchers are finding the Cards tough to handle. St. Louis later adds 4 more and leads by a comfortable 10-2 score as the Phillies bat in the last half of the ninth. Gus Triandos opens with a single, but the Phillies are still 8 runs down. After 2 walks and a hit, Johnny Callison comes through with his 3rd straight safety, and Bobby Wine scores. It's 10-3 as the Phillies try to make a Murrowell finish. Simmons proceeds to load the bases, then a free pass to Tony Gonzalez forces in another run. After pitching beautifully for 8 innings, Curt Simmons is forced to retire in the ninth. Alex Johnson keeps the ninth inning uprising alive with his 3rd hit. 2 more runs cross the plate, and the tying runs are on the bases with Johnny Hernstein batting. Hernstein sends a long fly to center field that scores Richie Allen with the 7th run of the inning. Alex Johnson is nailed, trying to go to second. It's 10-9 with 2 down as Gus Triandos, representing the tying run, pops the ball high over the infield to Julian Javier. The Phillies fall 1 run short of making their greatest comeback of the season and are fast finding themselves vulnerable to a steady diet of left-handed pitchers.
The slumping San Francisco Giants make their last visit to Connie Mack Stadium this season for another crucial series with the league-leading Phillies. The Giants need to sweep this 3-game set to keep alive their pennant hopes. Al Dark's forces have been plagued by injuries to key men along the way, but the Giants are a team that has a history for coming on strong at the finish despite physical handicaps. Willie Mays exhausted and nursing a bad back, continues to play. He leads the league in home runs, and it's no secret the Giants can't make it without him. On the Phillies side of the picture, Richie Allen appears destined for Rookie of the Year honors. He and the other Phillies show no signs of letting up, despite a 6-game bulge. Frank Thomas, the long sought-after right-handed hitter the Phillies have been dreaming about, has been living up to all expectations. The Giants' Juan Marichal goes after his 17th win of the season as the Phillies bat in the second with more than 21,000 looking on. Tony Gonzalez connects off a Marichal in the second inning. It's only the 4th home run of the season for Tony, and it gives the Phillies an early 1-0 lead. Gonzalez, who was beaned earlier in the year and a few times throughout his career, never became gun-shy as he continues to hang in there and take his cuts. Chris Short is the Phillies pitcher as the Giants bat in the 3rd inning. Del Crandall rides one of Short's offerings high and deep to left center. By the time the ball is retrieved, Crandall moves safely into 3rd with a triple. Short can't get the ball by Harvey Keene, who also connects. Keene's drive lands in the stands and gives the Giants a 2-1 lead. Short, whose previous record against the Giants was only 1 win against 5 losses, is forced to the showers. He's replaced by newcomer Bobby Locke, who does a fine bit of relief work, except for one bad pitch to Orlando Cepeda in the 4th. Cepeda makes his 27th round-trip tour of the bases, and the Giants are on top 3-1 as the Phillies come to bat in the bottom of the 6th. Juan Marichal sails along smoothly until Johnny Callison connects. For Callison, it's his 25th round-tripper, and the Phillies are right back in the ballgame, now trailing 3-2. The Phillies have tremendous depth and power from both sides of the plate, now that Callison, Covington, Gonzalez, Allen, Triandos, and Thomas are in the same lineup. After Richie Allen walks in the same inning, Wes Covington only gets a piece of the ball and lifts a fly to right field. When rookie Jim Ray Hart stumbles, the ball drops for a 2-bagger, and Allen comes around to score. It's a new game at 3 apiece. However, the Giants counter with a run of their own on some fancy base running by Willie Mays and a Philly throwing error. It's the 9th inning as Covington bats. He hits the ball wide of first base, but Marichal runs over and Covington is out. The Phils are down by 4-3 as Marichal strikes out Tony Gonzalez. And now it's up to hard-hitting Frank Thomas. But Thomas doesn't come through this time as he hits a dribbler back to the box, and Marichal runs over to retire Frank and the Phillies. The Giants win this close one 4-3, but lose the series at Philadelphia 2-1. It's all over but the shouting as the Giants appear to have left their pennant hopes back in San Francisco.